actually log into Roll20 because apparently I forgot to do that.
Well, who needs to log into Roll20 these days? Come on.
Welcome to
All
Warhammer
time.
40K Rogue Trader Strings of Fate Season 3 premiere Chicanery. Friends, just in case this is your first or last time watching, you should know that in the description section on YouTube, there will be a skip introductions button that you can place. Also in the description section, you will find links to everything you need to know in order to follow more information about the show or the AP Gaming Real community. If you're watching on Twitch, you don't need those links because they're already there on the Twitch page. Please allow me to introduce the cast. Voted most likely to succeed, James Slayton, aka Grimdark James. Thank you for that resub. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? I know we're going a little out of order, but it's part of the bit.
No worries. I am James, or Grimdark James to some. I run this particular game. I had a 40K podcast for about 7 years, which is a Grimdark podcast. That show has come to an end because we stopped following the game systems that it was based on. We're working on a new project. Otherwise, most of my internet stuff is done on Arthur's channel at Arthur's pleasure. It's
I don't even know what that means, man.
Yeah. Otherwise, I've got a YouTube channel where you can check out my current 40K projects or see some of my old Dark Heresy campaign. Otherwise, yeah, I'm on Twitter at Grimdark Podcast. Does that answer the questions?
Yeah. Oh no, Roll20 becoming unresponsive.
Oh.
This could be a problem for me.
Look, as far as I know, you don't need Roll20 to do any sort of role playing whatsoever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Who rolls dice? No one.
I do. I roll dice all the time. Let's talk about.
There's a question in chat there. Sorry. So someone in chat has asked to ever do a Black Crusade campaign. I have in fact run and played in a Black Crusade campaign, and my original plans for my next Black Crusade campaign have actually been rolled into this campaign. So
crazy.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, we all have played a Black Crusade game. So
because we're in it.
I mean,
right,
listen,
yes.
There are people on YouTube that are like, you guys are basically just playing Dark Heresy at this point, right? You don't even do Rogue Trader stuff anymore. And I was like, don't I know it, man? I'm like half an Inquisitor right now.
I debate that. In the far future of the 41st millennium, there's only merchandising with this group.
I mean, at least with me, sure. I try to bring it back, but
Nero's introduction. There's two types of people in my life. There's targets and there's customers. Which one are you today?
All right. Speaking of targets and or customers, let's talk to the man voted most likely to use dad jokes after becoming a dad. Onto the man.
it's like a participation award, my dude.
Did he mute himself?
Yeah, he muted himself. He doesn't want to talk to you.
I just. I've had like a busy couple of weeks, mainly last week, where Saturday I flew into Tennessee to be the best man at my best friend's wedding. Gatlinburg, Tennessee is a god-awful area to drive. I don't want to do it again, but I'll probably have to do it again in the future.
Can I interrupt you for a second, Pondo?
Yes.
I don't know if you're paying attention to Arthur at the start, but he's asked us to introduce ourselves.
Oh, I am.
As though people are coming to the show for the first time in the third season.
I just assumed that no one is coming here for the first time.
I said that once on Eric Bulgaris' show. I said, there's no reason to introduce ourselves, Eric. It's the 28th episode. There's no way this is someone's first time. And someone in chat said, this actually is my first time. And I felt like a huge asshole afterwards. But you're right. This isn't anybody's first time. Please continue.
But if you look at the stats on YouTube, for example, you'll always find more views
at the beginning of a new season. Yes.
Yeah, than the last episode of the previous season.
So I am Pondo or Pondo the Mad. I have a YouTube or Twitch at the respective respective sites of /Pondo the Mad. At the moment, I'm not doing much, but I have a couple of things I'm going to start doing, mainly because I got a resin printer just yesterday. Right now I'm doing another test print, one that's just going to be cottons.
Yeah. What are you printing?
A Baneri.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Pokemon.
Are you sure it's not like a tiny hat or something like that?
No, Buneary. Buneary.
All right,
I'm
James.
still convinced it's like a little tiny cap or something with a propeller on it. Maybe.
I would say your
Buneary's
gift idea was
design
perfect,
has, like-
James. Yeah.
Buneary's design has like earmuffs it's a bunny that has like earmuff ears.
What you need to do is just print out like EV and then all the other EV types and then the shiny versions of them. They'll look exactly the same. You just have to paint them differently.
I would say it's doing the shiny version is just printing the same thing, just painting it different color.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds like a great excuse to have more EVs.
Just not Espeon. Espeon sucks as shiny.
Wow.
Have you seen shiny Espeon? Just a barf green.
Look, here's the thing
You heard it here
about
first, folks. Shiny Espeon totally sucks.
here's the
does.
thing about all EVs is that they're the best. They're better than all the rest.
Which print did you get, Pondo?
It was one that went on. It was the Elegoo Mars 2. It's not the Pro, but this one went on sale for like the Prime deals thing. It was like $200, and I had like a $35 gift card, so I got it for like $170.
Is it a resin printer?
Yeah.
Nice.
What's the maximum build space? Do you know?
On top of my head, no. I'll give you in inches because there's actually millimeters for it, but I'll give you inches. I'd say it's probably about 5 inches by 3. I'll look for the exact.
Can printers do curves yet? Or is it still like that blocky sort of like?
No, so that's what the resin printer can print a much finer, detailed like miniature.
Yeah, so
than
it's
the
still
standard
layers,
3D print.
but the more layers, it's like any curve on a computer is anti-alias, so that it looks like a curve, but it's actually blocks. But the smaller the blocks, the more natural the curve. But I mean, when I first got a 3D printer, I've actually got it in reach here. I used to use ZBrush to make models of characters from RPGs for my friends, and one of the first I printed was like a bust I made of a friend's character, which I did in Blender and ZBrush. But it's got it's pretty crappy, but it's just PLA. But some parts of the curves are quite smooth. So
I think that'd probably be what I'd use it for the most if I had a 3D printer. But I actually have a question for 3D printer people. I assume that's everyone except for me and Arthur, right? By the sounds of it. Probably.
Sort of.
Do you guys
I don't
use
even
it to
like
like
normal printers.
Do you guys like? Yeah, I mean, no one likes normal printers, but like, do you guys use it to like replace like bolts or nuts or anything like that when you like miss them?
I have never done that. No.
Really now? Okay.
I-
Because
The
that's-
federal government would like to talk to you.
like, you know, if you have like a thing on the bottom of the chair and it falls off and breaks, and you're like, well, I'm never going to replace this again. Or I could 3D print a washer that fits in there and just go with it. Like, do you do shit like that? Because that's what I imagine I'd do all the
No.
fucking time.
So-
Something like that.
Maybe. It's
So
not
Dave-
really, that's something you do with more of a filament printer, I think.
yeah, with filament printers, with PLA and ABS, over time, both of those materials start to warp. So it's really good for the reason they're really popular was for rapid prototyping. So, and I did this for actual work where I'd say, I've got an idea for a product. I'm going to make a printout of what it would look like to show customers and say, hey, would you like a product like this? But by the time it was about a year old, it was all warped and twisted and wouldn't be any good anymore. But what I have used it for is I found a friend of mine at work was restoring all these old Transformers for his kids. And I actually found a site where you could download 3D STLs of all the parts that usually break or come off. So you could use those to repair the toys. And I also made a Mass Effect Carnifex pistol. Working.
That's
for example,
the heavy pistol, right? That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Like if I broke this little connector thing here for this plastic, it'd be like the bottle would be ruined, but I could just with a 3D
So
printer.
It's still
I
a
hope I could
bottle.
just,
Similar to what you've got there, Dave.
don't
I got-
hate
I got-
on.
I got flexible material to make when you've got your fuel cap on your car, you get where the gas goes in. You've got that rubber ring that holds it onto the car. A friend of mine broke that in his car, so I printed a new rubber gasket to hold the fuel cap onto his car. There you go.
But he didn't break the car, Arthur. Fucking Jesus Christ.
I just love that Dave went, and then the bottle will be ruined, and Arthur went, what? No, it wouldn't.
Look here, I see that we've got a resub from both Henley, Crazy Bass 117, and Harborland. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Oh, I mean, I didn't do that. It's a gift, so you know, like.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, what you're looking at there, AP, is 5 gifted subs from Tice the Betrayer.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, it doesn't say that on stream. I didn't have chat open. I've just got these subs here. Thank you very much for your gift, Tice the Betrayer.
Time to update your shit, my dude. You know.
I'm sorry that I'm working directly off of the thing that's supposed to tell me these things rather than looking in chat. Okay, what am I, a VTuber? I'm not super chatting here. I'm using I even got my glasses out for this. I got my old man technology. Okay.
Yeah, you look like Robert De Niro in all of his recent movies. You know what I mean? Like
trying to go for Robin Williams, but okay.
In what?
Any movie. You know, that he was good at, so not Flubber.
Mrs.
Or Jacob the
Doubtfire?
Liar.
Just tell him it's not
Mrs.
your fault.
Doubtfire, he's the villain. Maybe not that one.
No, Mrs. Doubtfire
he's
is
not.
not the villain.
Yes,
I mean,
he
a
is.
bad dad, maybe.
He's a horrible dad, and the dude that he's trying to replace is a good man.
Yeah,
And
but
James
Go
Bond.
rewatch the
So,
movie,
like,
dog.
look,
He's the villain, not the protagonist.
No, because at the end of the movie, he learns his lesson and he grows as a person.
I see.
They
Okay,
should
so when
release
Omega Tanaga
the-
kills you and Kyle, but then goes, I made a mistake along the way, he'll be the hero of this scenario, right?
He'll be the hero of his movie, yes.
You know that they have enough cuts of Robin Williams being an absolute fucking jackass in that movie that they could release an R-rated version of Mrs. Doubtfire, but they won't. I don't know why. They should release it. It would be awesome. That's all I want to say about
Look, after all the kerfuffle around the Snyder Cut, we really don't need recuts of movies. Just
that. I would
release a
take a
movie.
recut of Mrs. Doubtfire R-rated. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Of course I would. Put it in 4:3, make it black and white. I don't give a fuck as long as it's R-rated.
Where were
I'll
we?
watch that.
Pondo? We were on
Pondo's intro, yeah.
We were on your introduction. Do you got anything else, Pondo? Besides your 3D printer? You were like, I don't have much, and then your 3D printer has derailed us into fucking next year.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
All right.
And it went to chaos.
Voted by the audience as most likely to die in a tanking accident. Big Spoon.
Hi, I'm Big Spoon, or Big Spoon 223 over on Twitter. I moved into a new apartment today, so I'm absolutely beat, and I literally plugged my computer in, turned it on, and jumped into the Zoom call to be here. So,
What kind of apartment do you move into and you have internet automatically? Like,
we signed our lease and everything last week, and I was still living at the house I was in previously, and then we got internet set up. And speaking of internet, it has we have AT&T fiber, so I have a gig down, and like it's amazing. It's literally the best thing I've ever had.
It's great.
So
That's how you stream 4K 60 FPS. Can't wait to see you join me on the court, brother.
yeah. No, I'm thinking about it now.
Let's play some b-ball.
I did a speed test, and on my phone, I was getting just on wireless, I was getting like 250 down and 330 up. And I was like, oh, that's fucking wild, dude. I've never had anything over than like 30 up. And that was like $150 internet. And this is $65 for fiber.
Yeah, it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
I hear the sharks are eating the fiber line in the ocean, so that's fun.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So, let me ask, Boone. This game finishes about midnight your time, doesn't it?
mm-hmm. Yep.
But have you built and made your bed yet?
It's there. It's not made.
No, that's good enough.
The man will sleep on the floor tonight.
Yeah.
You should be thankful he's here, okay? Like,
Yeah.
Look, you know the meme about single men's apartments, right? It's literally just a chair, probably a camping chair, some sort of PlayStation or Xbox, and a television.
Arthur, leave the stream going tonight, you know, because that way people can log on in like 4 hours time and see Spoon like
Just like, you know, curled up with a little blanket.
Spoon sleep stream.
No, so yeah, I've got everything moved in, and like, so I have this giant table that I've carried with me through like 3 or 4 different moves, and it's huge. It's like 10 feet by 4 feet, and it is the heaviest thing that I've ever. And every time I move, I go, "Do I want to keep this?" And then I go, "Well, I can play D&D around it, so yes, I'll keep it."
You trap, got it.
What a mistake.
And every time I have to move it.
I've got an organ here that now I'm like, now I'll have to consider that for the rest of my life.
An organ?
Yeah.
Like a piano?
Ones. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's got is it church pipes? Like how big are we talking?
No, it's just an electric organ, so it's
okay.
Simulates it.
Okay.
Can I ask a quick question of everybody here, Arthur? Because Spoon's triggered a question that is a big thing for me in my gaming life. So for each of you, when it comes to gaming with friends face to face, on couches around a coffee table or on chairs around a dining table?
Chairs around a dining table for me.
This is how I game with friends.
I try to do the back support stuff a lot, but like, I would say that most of the stuff I do these days is like around a coffee table, mostly because my couch is fucking amazing. But, yeah, I mean, I do want to get like that big table with the soft felt stuff eventually, because I can't imagine like playing card games on a glass table sucks, right? That's the main reason I don't use the big table that we have, because it's like you can't pick that shit up. It just doesn't work. So
I haven't been playing like in person long enough. I've done it both ways. I want to say I lean more towards a table with chairs around it than on the coffee table. Just because it feels like you have to lean over more. Just try to use a coffee table.
I prefer the couches thing, but we did move our BattleTech game recently not recently, but when we were playing it, to the dining table because it was easier to set up the maps and miniatures on a dining table than it was on a coffee table.
wouldn't BattleTech you need to like move around anyway to study different angles and stuff? Like, or am I thinking too much about this game?
You're thinking probably more like Warhammer. Warhammer, because there's no hexes or grid as such, you gotta sort of get a better perspective from looking around the table, but with BattleTech on a grid, as long as you can see the grid, you can work out etc.
So it's not like you have your own personalized measuring tape that's slick with grease and it like makes a RGB lighting scheme when you like suck in the tape or anything like that. Yeah. Do they have those for Warhammer? Do they have like themed
No, I'm pretty sure people just use regular tape measures that they get from the hardware store.
That seems really stupid because for D&D and Magic the Gathering they have like special dice, and people just like check out my dice.
I will say that in Australia, they got more Games Workshop measuring tape sales because most measuring tapes in hardware stores here are in centimeters and meters, unless it's got like the dual measurement. But what Games Workshop did have at one point many years ago was they had this true line of sight where you needed to say that a miniature could definitely see another miniature to be able to shoot at it. So they'd actually made Games Workshop branded laser pointers. So you could like use a laser pointer over like the miniature's shoulder and see if you could point through the cover to see the dot on the miniature it wants to shoot at. So
that's actually kind of fucking metal.
Yeah, they were just like a regular laser pointer, only 4 times the price.
So classic Games Workshop.
Yeah, that's the other thing. While I was in Tennessee, I actually stopped by a Games Workshop store and thinking I was like, all right, it'll be interesting. Yeah, and I'll go in and I was like, oh, it's just a store with Game Workshop products that are still retail price. this is yeah,
it's the Mecca though.
I was expecting it to be more pretentious somehow. No, it was just like Game Store, just all Game Workshop.
Wait, let me ask you this: Do you think the Sistine Chapel would like not sell you bottled water at like super high prices? Come on, they would.
I don't know. I mean,
But people still go there.
I was at an airport that sold me a bottle.
Yeah, but they don't go there to
of,
buy the bottled water, Dave.
So,
Yeah, and
Hondo,
you don't go to like the mecca of Warhammer 40K to buy the miniatures, but you do, right? Like,
can I try and guess the first question the sales rep at Games Workshop asked you when you walked in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, what are you working on?
No, actually, it wasn't. It was.
Yeah, that's always the sort of open line for me.
It was. What brings you in? Then it led to the hey, do you like Age of Sigmar? They're mainly doing Age of Sigmar promotions at the moment, just because the new edition came out.
do they have a bell that they ring when someone new comes in that doesn't know what Warhammer is? Like, and it alerts all the like customers to like a new version in the store, and they all
sharks.
Yeah.
All the sharks converge.
Blood in the water, guys. Blood in the water.
No, I was also talking to him about how I used Storm Shield varnish and it turned gloss on me, even though it's supposed to be matte. And that was interesting. Yeah, yeah. The varnish to me has not been working out too well as well.
Yes, you got to use it when it's colder.
Yeah.
Science, bitch.
Yeah, that's been pretty much it for me. Was moving into the new place. So.
All right. Voted most likely to be Dave. Dave.
Oh, that was the fucking biggest cop out I've ever seen in my life, mate.
Look, some of the other suggestions for you were not good, so I decided to go with a real tame option.
Alright,
You could have voted most likely to be Eric.
I mean, one of them was voted most likely to be a youth pastor, so
I'd be the cool youth pastor. I'd be like,
there's no such thing.
no, I'd be the one that tries to be cool. I'd be that guy.
That's
you know,
every
like-
youth pastor.
Exactly. Hey everyone, I'm Dave. I don't know. I used to be a full-time streamer, a real good one, and now I make porn.
See,
Is
Dave,
that what
this
you
is
wanted us?
this is why you can't have a good intro. That right there is why.
There is no mediocrity. There's only good streamer and porn. They're the two
That's what it
sides.
sounded like.
And so that intro with that like tank top on, the best.
All he needs is a beret.
That's like just going up to people. I was like, so what do you do? I do porn. Just leave it at that.
I do it, man. It's the
I know
shock
you do.
value that gets people. It's
That's
great.
how I describe this game. Like when I'm talking to my friends and stuff, I go, "Oh yeah, I'm in a Saturday night Rogue Trader game. You know, a couple of friends and then this guy who makes porn."
Wow, you don't consider Dave a friend? That's rough.
Yeah, but no, I do consider him a friend, but the making porn trumps that in the introductions.
Well, you don't say, hey, I'm just play a game with a couple of friends. You say, I play a game with a couple of friends and the president of the United States, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you don't just. No, I get you. I actually used that line in a doctor's meeting the other day. He was like, okay, so what do you do? I'm like, I make porn. He was like, oh.
Would you like to be STD paneled?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we doing a blood test today or what?
No, it's because you need like a medical certificate here in Poland to like get like a driver's license and stuff like that. So I'm going through that process right now. And I don't know. It felt like a good time to drop that bombshell. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, shit. I've been doing a lot of stuff. Like I'm currently trying to set up a second company, and that's just about to get started. And we're working on new games and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know. It takes a long time to do stuff, as it turns out. So just working real hard. Found out that we're having a baby girl. So that is good to know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
Welcome to the you have to watch all the dicks club now, not just the one.
look, we'll see how that goes. So watch all the decks club. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use that one. That's pretty good. So we're in the very, very, very low percentile chance for like baby problems and stuff like that, which is really, really good to be in. And now it's just trying to keep the wife de-stressed for the next 5 months or so, 5-6 months, and shit is happening. Like I thought, I honestly thought the 9 months would go really slow, but it's just like it's not. It's going way too quick. Like,
So what, did you just have the nuclear translucency test? Did you or something?
what?
Like usually when you get the gender and the chance of Down syndrome, it's usually through the nuclear translucency test around 12 weeks.
No, it was mostly just like he did a the scan thing, and he basically just looked at the size and the length of all the baby stuff and determined that we don't need to do the deep scan stuff or the injection stuff to work out whether or not there's a problem. So I'm glad, because that is also an extremely costly thing to go through, and I don't want to do that. And we're not entirely sure of the gender, but we're 70% sure essentially. So that's good enough for me. I mean, shit. So I wanted a daughter, and now I'm getting one. So yeah.
Interesting, because my wife is not what I consider a girly girl. She tends to wear pants. She likes motor racing. She likes cricket. She likes Dungeons and Dragons, etc. Whereas my daughter
she's Australian.
Whereas my daughter's like, if it's not pink, I don't want to wear it. She's only interested in dresses or skirts. Doesn't want to wear pants at all. It's like completely in. I mean, my wife chooses to like wear makeup maybe twice a year. That's it. Whereas my daughter's like, paint my nails today, paint my toenails too. So it's weird that I had this daughter with my wife.
Yeah, I fully expect. I don't know what to expect, but in my mind's eye, when I think of my daughter, I think of almost like a tomboy, essentially, right? Like I don't like, it's weird like that, but it probably won't be like that. So we'll see how we go. So yeah. Anyway, Arthur, how are you? Voted most likely to give disappointing intro segues.
That's actually true.
4 years running.
Are you implying that he hasn't left school in the past 4 years? He had 4 chances to graduate, but he failed every time. Is that what you mean?
July 26th is the end of 6th and the start of 7th years of streaming. And I didn't have anything special, so I'm working on making a video to lay out all of the possible shows I'm going to have over the next year, which is a pain in the ass.
7 years.
Because I know that half of them will fail before they ever hit, before they ever hit a stream, and people will be asking me for years about this, that, and then, when are we going to get that one? And I'm like, well, it just didn't work out, just like the horror game.
Arthur, just get a bunch of logos for the games made, and then have the logos come up one at a time to heavy metal music in the background, and that's the intro video. Done. That
sounds like more money than I want to spend on this. I would rather explain the game than make a logo for it. What am I, Marvel Studios? Do I look like I'm made of Disney?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's APGamingREAL Phase 7.
Look, Kevin Feige made that series in a cave with a box of scraps. Okay, you can do the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Robert Downey Jr. wants to wander out of fucking depression right onto the set, I'll work with him, and we can go ahead and get the rights for Marvel. But somehow I think that I'm not going to be able to make that kind of money.
Let's be real. There's probably no D&D scenario in the entire world that could possibly make Robert Downey Jr. look good. Like he would get what I mean by that is
we're done. Friendship over.
Also, if by in a cave with a box of scraps, you mean $140 million, we're golden.
Yeah. I mean, look, he didn't have a script and they ad-libbed most of the movie, but it's not like they were walking out there with like a fucking toolbox and being like, all right, we need to make a paper mache Iron Man suit, all right?
By the way, has everybody watched Deadpool and Korg react to the Free Guy trailer?
Amazing. Yeah.
It wasn't that funny.
It's actually really good. It's like Taika Waititi. I like that guy.
It was everything I thought I never knew I wanted.
Really? Wow.
It was perfect.
I feel like that was better than the movie. So
I don't know, man. They did a really good job with Deadpool considering how little money they had.
no, I mean Free Guy.
Then the Free Guy.
They did an
movie.
amazing job with Deadpool, and I wish Deadpool 2 was Marvel. I wish all of them were Marvel canon.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally lampshade it in every movie about how it could be canon, but no, it's still not canon.
It's one of those things where it's in limbo right now because
They literally refers to Josh Brolin as Thanos.
Yeah. Well, but it's Deadpool, man.
It's Deadpool is the weird state where everything is canon.
Oh no! Listen, the
Because
one
you
where
can
they
just-
recreate the set of the X-Men.
So one of my favorite scenes in those movies is when he goes to the X Mansion and like opens the door and is like, nope, nobody here, just the two of you.
Yep. This is all Fox could afford, man.
Yeah, I mean, they literally fought on one of the Avengers super carriers at one point, and I was just so sad that wasn't canon.
They
because
literally stole half of his jokes, by the way, for the new Black Widow movie as well, which I thought was...
I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus regular.
I actually did get to go see that. It was okay. It was solid.
Oh,
I enjoyed it.
Florence Pugh is or Pugh. I don't know how to say her last name, but she's great. Like she stole the movie for me.
I agree that everybody else from now wants a TV series, which is Yelena Belova and Shuri just hate on everything, just like watching everything and hating on it.
Yeah.
apparently they actually showed a mutant in that the Black Widow movie as well.
Really?
Yeah, you know.
Do I need to take my headphones off? You about to spoil something
Nah.
for me, Dave? Will you explode if you do this?
Well, they
Nah.
have the rights to say mutant now because they bought Fox. So
Yeah, there's one background character in the movie that has like a speaking line.
Gotcha.
You might know who I'm talking about.
I think I do.
Yeah. So it's just they don't mention it at all in there, but the actor who played the guy was like, "Yeah, he's a mutant," and then everyone was like, "I guess," and it's like, "Okay, cool." So yeah. There you go. Oh, but man, when they, I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm sorry. I won't do that to Arthur.
Don't ruin your credibility, Dave. You have to keep the higher ground. Otherwise, I'll be forced to cut your body in half and rebuild you as a robot.
You don't have the technology.
We can rebuild you. Da-da-da-da. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I've been concentrating on, is launching a shit ton of new shows. And,
How far into your career did we start playing together? Was it the same year that you started?
Like a year and a half, 2 years. Career. Hey, man, I'm a contractor for Gen Con now through the rest of the month.
Yeah, and was that because of your
that's a
streaming
career.
career, Arthur?
No, it's because I knew Eric Vulgaris.
And also had a streaming career.
That's true. I wouldn't have met Eric Vulgaris, and I also wouldn't have had the technical skills to do it. I like it. It's enjoyable. It's good. It's good money. Like to do more of it, but unfortunately, they don't need me for 40 hours a week. But it's good to add to the portfolio and to my curriculum vitae.
It's a career, Arthur, too. Critical Role's got an IMDb page. You should open one for yourself, like for all your projects.
Should open a TV tropes page. Add thirst to the entry. Bawilla.
Arthur, if I can have an IMDb page, you can have an IMDb page.
I could, but I'm not going to.
I didn't make
What
it
are
for
they going to
myself,
credit
by the
me
way.
in? I've literally only been in my own shows. And
Yeah,
like,
that's right. So,
Eric.
producer, writer, director.
I doubt you
Editing?
could say I'm the writer of any of my shows, especially anyone that Dave's on. That shit's going to go off the rails immediately.
Yeah, I have 2 filmographies apparently in mine.
Look, I'm about to let you in on some ground truth here, all right? I would be a writer, except I don't have that level of skill. That's why I do tabletop RPG shows to fill in the blanks. Other people play the important characters, and then I publish our adventures on Amazon in 99-cent sale books.
Here's what you do. Associate producer.
Executive. I'm executive producer of my show.
You know what executive producer means? It means I pay for
It's
it.
nothing. Yes, I know. That's why I always tell people I executively produce my own shows in real life. Listen, I've always been in love with that joke ever since they did it for the Veronica Mars Kickstarter. Which, if you haven't seen the Veronica Mars Kickstarter video and you're a Veronica Mars fan, you need to just watch it because it's fucking hilarious.
Arthur,
He
no
was on
one's
that
gonna
show
get
about Canadian
Veronica
SWAT.
Mars.
He never broke character for 8 years. All right. I don't know what else to say about myself, friends. I will say this. There is a possibility I will be opening up more professional game master private game slots on Patreon. Once a
They
month
make the
is
big bucks.
once a
Very
month.
cool.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Dave. I'm doing it all for the money. You may not know this, but Tony Hawk and I have a lot in common because we sell out immediately.
Hey, you look like that Arthur Perkins guy.
My favorite Tony Hawk quote is when Tony Hawk said, "So I agreed to let them make a video game about me that promoted me as the best skateboarder ever. And afterwards I thought, I might actually have to get good at skateboarding to live up to this." And then he fucking did it. He actually got better because the video game pushed him to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, he was pretty good before the video game.
I mean, he's
But-
still amazing. He's still amazing. Plus, the journeys of him on airplanes is just incredible.
Now I'm glad I've got 2 Patreon accounts. I can double sub Arthur.
You already sub me, and then you leave the spot open. That's why I'm thinking of adding to it. But James, if you trap me, and you're just like, all right, well, now I have 2 accounts, and now I have 2 games, and now I want all of the games.
So
I'll be
I
in
would
trouble.
love to have a game. I'd love to watch a game where James, is dressing up as 4 different characters, and Arthur is the GM for the
What
game.
the fuck?
And it's because James paid for all 4 slots in this Patreon game by himself with 4 different accounts.
It's just recorded.
But then there's entire scenes where James
It's having conversations with James.
with James.
It's just no. So he gets one of those Zoom things that lets him do like idle animations, and so he just turns that on, and gets up and walks away, puts on a new costume, and comes back.
Yeah. That would be fucking amazing.
No, it would only be good once, and only for like 5 minutes. Oh man, that definitely sounds like something that's going to be a Netflix special at some point, and not
Like
a very
Black
good
Mirror
one.
episode where the GM gets surrounded by the same player over and over again.
Oh, all right. Are we
Hell
ready to
of
get
his
this
own
thing
making.
started,
All
James?
for $300.
Yes. Although I will say, I did enjoy what you linked to me on Twitter today as well, Arthur. So
Oh, the eternal GM.
Forever GM. Yeah.
You're preventing me from being there. All right, go ahead. Do your special intro thing for the season start.
My
You got
special
one,
intro.
right?
Welcome. Sorry.
You've got one, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I not like a pre-recorded thing. No, welcome to season 3, episode 1 of Rogue Trader: The Strings of Fate, Chicanery, as opposed to whatever Arthur said before. If you would like a recap on the show until now, I suggest you go back and watch the last episode of season 2, because we did a big recap there. We're going to jump straight into the action this time, once again. And rather than me throw out the scene, because we sort of left it on a pretty big cliffhanger last time when Ivy revealed some certain truths to Pierre, I'd like to know what scene the players feel they should start off with. Probably starting with Pondo. Like, where do you think that this would go next? Is Pierre going to stew on this for a while, or is it going to be like a team meeting straight away?
I think he's going to stew on it for a little while. At least he can search through the documents himself to see exactly if they have who exactly is the traitors among their church. If it's just the whole church, part of the church, one person.
About the church.
And
Okay.
Then think about how he's got to figure out the situation about Dawn, if she's actually good, if she's actually a heretic.
That was in the information, though, right? That Dawn was so pure that she pushed through the evil aspects of the ritual.
I don't think so.
I remember that being there.
Yeah, I thought I remembered. Yeah, that Dawn was exonerated.
James was saying that essentially that's.
I think we certainly had that conversation at the end of the game about where I was going with Dave's character. I don't necessarily think it was part of the data, and we'll say what's in the data until Pierre has a chance to read it himself. So we're gonna, the first thing we see is like a montage of the character's idle animation. So Pierre is going through this data that Ivy has produced. What's Adrian doing now? This is in the hours post the Battle of. Sorry, okay. Arthur's got his pre-pan up here. Sorry.
His idle animation. Every few seconds, he has to pull out a different pistol and twirl it before it goes under the desk again.
Okay, come on, they don't have that much of a budget for this cartoon. Okay.
Go ahead.
But is talking about Pierre or talking about?
No, it's Pierre.
Pierre. Yeah, Pierre's idle animation. Yeah.
Look, you get 3 frames. Okay, you get 3 of them. That's it.
We're working with at least 24 here. Okay.
God damn, what do you?
What
think
are we?
this
The
is?
BattleTech animation? Come on now, we could do better than that.
You get a cough, and that's it. I'll also accept Sonic looking at his watch and flicking it with his finger. Okay, like.
So I think Adrian is having like a Aaron Sorkin-esque walk and talk with a bunch of different members of the bridge, and because Pierre's not here and he's still technically the XO, and I mean I assume we are preparing for a warp journey into Zone 15 to check on the inquisitorial station over there. So he's like signing data slates and like handing them off to people and preparing our fleet as it is to.
It's like that first scene from Mass Effect where Shepard walks from the front of the ship to the back of the ship, past everybody,
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. What about Dawn? What's Dawn doing in the hours immediately after the Battle of Port Wanda?
That's a good question. Honestly, she was. How injured was I? Was I injured?
Well, let's look at your sheet. I haven't healed the sheets at all. So
you were injured because I remember this is like the first time that you took any real serious.
It was bad
hurt.
too. It was not. It was not good. Baywatch ran out to you with a med kit.
You're on 4 of 18 hit points.
Yeah, so I was, and that's after healing myself too. So
that's right. Yeah.
I think I went under. Yeah. Okay. So Dawn would probably be like I don't know. There'd be like some sort of scene where she's like stitching herself up or something like that. Probably like tending to her wounds. Most likely, maybe having a moment of inner reflection. That maybe Heresy is a bit more powerful than she anticipated, right? Like she isn't just like the bulwark that can stand against all foes as it has been up until this point. Like literally Chaos Demons crawled out of a hole and she just walks up to them ready to ready to battle with no problems, and then one humanoid. He was a humanoid, right? It was like a
he was a space marine.
Space Marine, yeah, Chaos Space Marine.
One person afflicted with chaotic thoughts was enough to like put her into a state where she had to fight for her life, and it was it was probably like a very, I wouldn't say traumatic, but more like a glass shattering moment, like there's no going back to being so I guess like immortal, like the feeling of never being hurt, like I mean she's taken scrapes before, but nothing to the point where she's like had that moment of like clarity where she like, oh shit, I might actually die here, like that sort of, that has never entered her mind in her entire life until that moment. So she's probably like sitting there like like she's probably got like a cut on her chest or stomach or something like that, and she's probably just like sewing it up, and also just like I don't know, having just like a meditation session with herself to like try and overcome the thoughts that she's thinking for the first time. So
okay. And what about Nero?
Nero is filling out a flurry of reports and designing 2 outfits and writing 4 letters, which he is sending to Pierre, Rosen, Heraldius Mercator, and Horatio, and Dawn, and is in the process of writing a 5th one to go to Riani. And we could see in the process of doing all of this that he has laid out all of his many, many weapons throughout his room. And people are coming in, taking his letters, taking his orders, taking his reports, and just looking at all of these weapons that have been laid out for servicing, maintenance, and he keeps looking at them and shaking his head and sighing.
All right. Pierre, while you're studying these notes, there is a sudden knock at your door, and like a sort of hurried knock. That's sort of like multiple sort of someone clearly trying to get your attention before they like buzz on like the internal intercom.
Okay, at the end of their knock, Pierre goes, and then comes in, then tells them to come in.
Okay, no worries. It's Alexandra von Heppel, your high factotum, the one that led the battle on the behalf of the ship. Lord Commodore, we've received communication from the other side of the moor. Something has happened. We were able to get a psychic communication through. We've received some information from Madame Charlebel Armelin.
Oh,
he's like, he's like waving around a data state where obviously it's all been transcribed.
Bring it here. Bring it here.
All right. He drops it down on your desk. So it appears to be effectively like a backlog of communications that have been sent and just somehow gotten stuck in the ether that have all now suddenly come through. It basically, Armelin's just reporting for your, he's acting as a go-between between your forces and your colonies in the Expanse. So she's been continuing to collect the tributes from the colonies and put them aside for you, but also gather information from them to give to you. So it's a whole bunch of communications from those colonies passed through by Armelin's psychic. It'll take you a bit of time to go through all the information in general, but you know straight away you can see some red flags and some green flags. Certainly there's comments like great discovery or run out of water, stuff like that you probably need to fully digest.
Great. Paperwork.
If you aren't fully digesting water, you have a big problem.
Thank you.
He says, I can summarize for you, if you like, Lord Commodore. I've had a chance to read through the majority of it. Each of your colonies have some point that requires attention, though Solitude seems to be in the best circumstances. We have lost contact with Outpost 31. They're no longer communicating with Armelin, and she hasn't had a chance yet. It's only been the last 3 months. She hasn't been back there since. And by losing contact with a colony, that's effectively dried up our income from that colony. But there is substantial funds put aside at Footfall for you to gather. So in terms of what that actually means for you in game terms, your profit factor has dropped down to 40.
We were at 49.
Dropped down to 42 because of things on your colonies. But there are 9 points, to be collected from Footfall.
Okay.
And they will go up again if you go and fix the problems that those colonies have.
Okay. So get to Footfall, we'll get about 9. And then
Yep, so you'll be back to 51 then, and then more if you can solve their problems.
Okay. It's probably something that we'll have to do. Just do a go Tin to the Fields trip.
All
right. So we're at 42. Got it.
Yeah. Give me Pondo I'm gonna go with a scrutiny roll. Plus
I'll
10.
give you a scrutiny roll. Plus 10?
Plus 10.
I will re-roll. God, that's a 99.
99. Great start to season 3.
Perfect start. Great. There we go. That's better. 24.
Okay, no worries.
2.6 success.
Okay, so the going through the data that Ivy produced, so it particularly calls out Sister Superior Echo as the marionette's agent within the Sororitas. And the implication is that whole order is predicated on a lie, and that their rituals are designed to expose people to the chaos rather than to cleanse it from them. It does there say that it implies in the writing that despite the Sister Superior Echo's attempts, that Dawn remains unaffected. And probably, from being separated from that group now, spending so long in your particular crew, is effectively they've considered that particular mission a failure, so to speak. Certainly, they can still do harm to the order from where they are, but the implication is there that Echo was placed there some time ago in order to try and steer Dawn's destiny down a heretical path. With your 2.4 or 2.6 degree success, I'd say that there's I heard this term in the film Minority Report. I quite like it. It's an orgy of evidence. It's definitely the amount of information that's being communicated here is conspicuous in its completeness as such.
Just know, folks at home, that before the stream, Grimdark James noted I had a mature rating and was wondering why I put that on the stream.
Well, now he's just embracing it. He asked you why. Now you gave him free reign. So essentially, from what I can understand, is that there's might be a possibility that not all of the order is corrupted. Just there's definitely some of them is, or part of it is. And we know exactly who's the one that's the main cause of it.
Yes.
Okay.
But you also know that now with the fact that Dawn is no longer in the order and that they're unable to influence her, that their next mandate is to damage the order in whatever ways they can.
Okay.
Yeah. There is no mention of Miriam in the information here.
That's not good. Okay.
James, can I ask a question through Pondo? Is that okay? You mentioned that now that Dawn's not there, they have another objective. Was the original objective to corrupt Dawn?
Yeah, and this looks like a long-term, years in the making thing. Was just to seed to get Sister Echo to the head of that particular order, and to try and steer Dawn down a path of unknowing heresy. Not to try and make you want to serve the Chaos Gods, but to try and pull you into their influence through these rituals.
Okay, and a further question then: is there any evidence in there specifically related to who sent Dawn out in the first place and whether or not they're still there? Like, is there an ally in there, like someone who sent Dawn away specifically to not be a part of this problem? Or?
Well, it was so Miriam was the one that originally suggested Dawn to the to the group. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I spaced on that.
Okay.
No further questions, Your Honor.
So that's the crux of it there.
All right. So then the next thing would be schedule a meeting while we're on the way to that monastery to pick up Miriam, if she's still alive, hopefully.
We've been in regular communication with her.
Yeah.
When was the last time? Oh, okay.
As I mentioned way earlier in season 2, Nero has been continuously communicating with her and threatened an old woman about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the woman that
terrified.
Yeah. He threatened the not the candidates, but the Palatine of the order. Because remember that Miriam isn't part of Dawn's order. Miriam is part of a different.
I told them what would happen if we didn't hear back from her.
Yeah,
we would come back and we would destroy the whole abbey from orbit.
So is that your plan? Is to go back to Iacanthos rather than go into the Maw?
Yes, because it seems like.
James is dying right now, James is dying. James is dying. Why are you doing this?
Adrian's just on the bridge going, yes, I've just signed all of these orders that, send us out into the Maw.
We literally are working for an Inquisitor, and we have a fucking fleet here to do a job that we're contractually bound to.
Silver Skulls.
For a month? Yeah. First off, we aren't waiting for them. We barely even know about them. It's going to take way more than a month to go back to Iacanthos and back.
I say we want to go now. It's part of the plan.
All right.
Well, this sounds like a conversation best had in character.
Yeah. Essentially, Pierre believes that Miriam has a missing piece to his puzzle here.
Yes, we know that to be true. We know that she's the missing acolyte. So let me summarize the notes from the colonies for you as well, because that'll probably factor into your conversation when you do it with the rest of the group too.
Okay.
So you have 4 communications. The first one comes from Macarius Holt, who is the administrator at what's left of Landfall, the Regina 4 colony. So this is obviously the planet that was destroyed at the end of season 1, but the colony still remains there, garnishing whatever resources they can still from the ruins of the planet. So it's pretty much regular reports every 3 months. They had a couple of uprisings there because they kept running out of water because chunks of planet in space don't actually have much of a rainfall system. So Armelon's been able to sort of bring in emergency water supplies. That they need some sort of appropriate infrastructure to really to produce water and oxygen though for them. They are currently productive, i.e. that the 2 uprisings they've had have been quelled. But the last communication from Holt was actually like super encrypted. He's used whatever mechanisms he has to make this data so that no one else but you can read it. And in it, he talks about some incredible discovery that he can't. He's not, other than letting you know that it's there, he can't talk about it on the communications. And it's like, you have to come here straight away to see this. This is the most amazing.
He's Facebook
found.
adding.
I've seen Star Wars Episode 1.
Okay. The second communication is from Solitude Station, from Signy Ibrick. So she's the administrator that replaced Cornelius, the one that you shot for incompetence.
Plasma pistol.
Yeah. Shot in the knee, right. And then shot in the face.
Yeah. Their operation is going well. They have grown in size, so they are now struggling somewhat with. They need some sort of technology for desalination and waste management because they're like the amount of clean water accessible to their colonies or clean drinkable water is limited.
Because they're also in space, right?
No, they're on a planet. Solitude Station. Sorry, it's a station. Sorry, no, it is a station. Sorry, yes. So they do require. Sorry, so it'll be things like waste reprocessing back into clean drinkable water.
They need the Ziploc bags. Got it.
Yeah. Recently, their colony was visited by an ecclesiastical scholar named Pontius Quint, who is just exploring the expanse, trying to spread, the word of the emperor. And his presence has really raised the spirits of the population of Solitude Station. And Signy was hoping that you could attempt to persuade him to stay on, maybe build a mission to operate out of Solitude Station. It might really help with the growth of the colony. Third one is from Horfrost and your administrator there, Name bint Saba El Shadi, who tells you that the colony has recently discovered so they're a mining colony. They recently discovered some old archaeotech. Looks like pre-imperial human technology in a pretty bad way, but probably still quite valuable. They've they haven't tried to start exporting it. They're sort of waiting on your orders. But at the same token, unfortunately, the discovery led to a bit of superstition among the populace, and that combined with a particularly harsh winter on Horfrost meant that a portion of the population fled the planet, and so the colony has shrunk in size, but they have discovered this archaeotech cache.
Is this the same colony that also shrunk in size, but then a ship crashed into the planet that increased the colony size?
That might be the same one. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
And finally, Outpost 31. Your administrator there is Maxlin Morn. They're basically a research colony which is exploiting an ancient derelict imperial station in orbit above the pre-imperial station in orbit above the planet. So they pretty much just send ships up to the planet up to the station to try and get material from it, or whatever falls out of orbit. They go through. There's a research manager there, Dr. Patience Calamere, who does all the work, and so her reports in there too. They seem to have been going quite well. They've grown in size. They need some more power for their operations. But yeah, 3 months ago, just all communication from the colony stopped.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so they are considered non-producing right now, non-productive. So, would you like to gather the senior crew for a briefing?
I'll gather the senior crew for a briefing.
Are there any NPCs you would like there?
I guess Riani's important because she's the one that flies the ship. Maybe. I guess our account. I can't remember the name of the job. The person who gave me the. Yeah,
Alexandra von Heppel.
Yes.
High factotum. That's all I can think of.
Okay, not Ivy.
Oh, I just assume she comes along nowadays.
Okay, I mean she is an NPC, so when I say any NPCs,
I guess that's true.
I include all NPCs.
She's feel like she's always there nowadays. Okay.
What about your other two captains?
Yeah. I guess you should have the other two captains so they can relay that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Other two captains in their exos.
Okay.
just,
all right.
just so long as if the captain is asleep, the exo knows what they're doing. As long as the exo is asleep, the captain knows what they're doing.
What are you working out there, Spoon?
Just how many people are coming to this meeting?
Okay,
everybody.
No worries. I'm up to 11 at the moment.
Gonna have to break out the big conference table.
Having it on those conference tables that just divides in the middle and the extra part folds out to make it longer.
And put the new leaves. Yeah.
It's Warhammer 40K, so of course it takes 3 hours to do that with smoke everywhere, incense and braziers.
And about 20 servitors.
Begin the ritual of extensions. All right. So everybody, after a bit of transport between ships, everybody is gathered at the conference room. Everybody can give me a scrutiny check at +10.
I even have
I
scrutiny.
didn't roll a 99 that
Yes,
time.
everybody has scrutiny.
It's if you actually have it trained or not.
All right.
Audience doesn't need to see this. They don't need to see this.
Okay, so only Pierre notices that Ivy is very sort of not uncomfortable, but just a bit unsure around Dawn, and chooses a seat, which is normally Ivy seems to be quite taken by Dawn in terms of they are the two religious representatives on this ship, and so she's always trying to maintain a friendship with Dawn, but at this point in time she seems to be giving her some distance.
So that clearly means she, did something wrong with Ares with the jetpack installation, and she doesn't know how to
It's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pierre will remember this.
Okay.
I will take note of it later.
So everyone's looking expectantly at Pierre. Or at least all the NPCs are. Players might.
Oh, okay. Well,
you called this meeting.
Yes. Essentially, the first part of the meeting, Pierre will regurgitate what's going on with the colonies since he got word of them. And that at some point when the Silver Skulls make it into the system, that we'll do the raid with the captain of the...
Of the Silver Skulls.
Koronus, we're not in the Expanse, are we?
No, you're in the
at the
Eclipse
edge.
sector still.
Yeah, we're at the gateway, basically.
Sir, I have to protest waiting a month for him to arrive. We have just dealt a massive defeat to the Chaos Forces. I mean, they were literally defeated by a cash register.
That's something that we'll have to discuss with the Admiral if you think we could do it.
We were sent here to do a job, and we have a fleet. We have 6 ships. We don't need to wait a month for one more Space Marine ship.
We technically don't need to even do them. We just need to check on the gate.
Yes, but we know that there's a problem at the gate. Otherwise, the information would be flowing through correctly.
We don't know there's a problem at the gate.
The problem
There's
was
no
that there was
communication through the gate.
correct. Well, because there was a Chaos fleet in between us and the gate, and now that fleet has been defeated. And I agree with Master Bullet, and we need to. I believe we need to depart immediately.
I think, sir, there's also an opportunity for additional profit here. Not only should we be aiming at Zone 15, but there are several more outstanding episodes that are secondary objectives in this area that we could get our hands on. We could, for instance, receive a contract to take on the Tear at the Witch Curse world and hope to defeat the fleet there.
That's what we're waiting for the Silver Skulls for.
Fine. We can head to the 13th station and check on that, which you lay claim to. Impound any ships in the local area and claim them. More importantly, at the 13th station, we have information that we gained from the Spider Bride as to the location of the Exchequer class Exchequer for Trade Admiral Jonkin Saul, who promised to give you literally anything you wanted if you could bring him that back. Waiting here, I think, might be very unprofitable in terms of actions to be taken. There are a lot of people we could kill for money.
Yes. This is the reason why I didn't say we go into the Witch World to fight them, is the Admiral was wanting to wait for the Silver Skulls. I can attempt to convince him to say that we're ready now, that we could do it.
Well, we can just go through the battleground, can we not?
Right, but what I'm saying is we could get the Admiral to pay us to go to the Witch Curse world.
I see.
I don't think we should do it on the way in. I think we should do it on the way out. I think we need to go to Zone 15, and once that's clear, we can hit Witchcurse World on the way back here while we wait for the Silver Skulls.
So you're saying take the fleet with us on our search trips?
We're taking 6 ships. At the very least, we can provide a reconnaissance and force to the Witchcurse World. Currently, all we have is the sacrifice of Lieutenant Avondo's mind to tell us what's happening there. That is not what I would call highly accurate data.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead, sir. We had a memorial party about him yesterday. He died pretending to be me. It allowed me to move in stealth. I'll never forget his service, Avocado.
just looks at Nero for a moment and just shakes his head. And very well. I'll speak with the Admiral about it. So if the fleet and the Witchcrest World's not that big, we could attempt to fight them ourselves, or if it seems to be bigger, we will flee and then come back with larger forces.
I have a season-long recap available here for you, sir, if you'd like it, or I can just skip to the current outstanding problems we have on this ship.
I feel that the recap is appropriate for the situation.
How much am I authorized to share? Many of the people in this room are not privy to some of the more secretive secrets that we bear.
Just keep out everything aside from the secret of secrets, then.
That is most of the list, sir.
Okay, well, then let's just not worry about it.
We're rogue traders, and I'm finished.
We should definitely have a meeting of your warband at some point to discuss the secret of secrets.
Okay. We'll do that after, then.
So
removing... Sorry, James, go.
On your little tactical consoles, where you're sitting, message comes through from your astropathic choir, informing you that you've received a communication from Lord Sector Marius Hax, who is the governing body of this particular sector. Mm-hmm. So first off, it acknowledges your thanks for helping sort out the cult issue in Gunmetal City, and also acknowledges that he understands that you are engaged in stopping this chaos force, which is threatening the sector. To that end, as thanks for that, he has offered to give you control of a single regiment of Cintillion forces, and he has listed the credentials of 3 different regiments, of which you may choose one that will be sent to join your forces and can be used in any sort of ground-based campaign. So the first one is the 114th Regiment of the Cintillion Protectorate, under General Sim Adrat, which is a siege infantry, so designed for either holding a location or laying siege to a location. That's their primary doctrine. There is the 35th Cintillion Fusiliers, remembering, of course, that you have a rank in the Cintillion Fusiliers as well, an honorary rank. They are an armored regiment, so that is not so much like a tank regiment, more like all their squads have Chimera transports, so they are
mechanized infantry.
Mechanized, yeah, that's right, okay. Yeah. Under General Commander Hellstrom Pilus. And finally, the 73rd Gunmetallican Regiment, which is a hunter-killer regiment, so designed for like guerrilla operations, infiltration, bombing, etc., under General Christa d'Auvilliers.
Honestly, I'm more interested in the siege group.
I think that's a waste.
We have a decent amount of mechanized infantry already. Well, we have the chimeras.
We have a few chimeras, but in order to keep up with our gun cutter and some of our other forces, I believe that maximizing our armored regiment would be wisest. That said, the 75th pilots fulfill a objective that we don't currently have in terms of guerrilla warfare and stealth. We seem to face a lot of partisanal forces and heretics that operate within the populace, and I think that they might be optimal, if not for the battlefield, then for fulfilling your objectives as a rogue trader.
So I tell a lie, by the way. So the army regiment isn't actually army regiment. It's Lehman Russes, not chimeras.
Oh,
So
okay. I'm more interested
Sir,
in that.
I apologize. The 35th Cintillion Fusiliers are the obvious best choice.
I just had to wipe away the virtual smudge on the data pad here.
Yeah,
It says Lehman Russes. Okay,
yeah. It's 300 Lehman Russes plus men.
I'll take that. Okay.
How are we
What was
going
the
to
siege
transport
regiment
them?
from? They're tanks. Can we
Yeah.
fit a tank in a gun cutter?
No, I mean
Yes,
on the ship.
one tank.
I mean on the ship. We don't have space for 300 Lehman Russes. I don't know if you've looked around.
We'll have to get another ship.
You're going to have to get a big ship.
We just need to get that one ship.
Hold on.
And
Are you saying that we'll need a bigger boat?
Yes,
We'll
I
need
am
a
saying
bigger
we'll
boat.
need a bigger boat.
we'll need a bigger ship. Well, the Eternal Praetorian might be able to hold it. We just need to transfer the nulls.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it has the limit. It's got a cargo hold and lighter bay, so yeah, it's big enough to hold 300 Lehman Russes.
Wow. All right, that's a lot bigger than I thought. Never mind.
It's a big ship.
Nero would know that, so he withdraws that objective. It never actually happened.
Okay, what does the siege infantry come with? I'll ask before I plant my fist down.
Just
on the
nothing
Lehman
but
Russes.
basilisks.
Not vehicles. They're designed to entrench. They're like an entrenching infantry.
Right.
So they come with shovels.
Listen,
There's a death course of Creek right,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I mean, but like they're traded things like explosives,
Right.
You know, and they probably have heavier material like some melter guns in their kit as well. So,
I was just wondering if they had like artillery or anything like that sort.
no.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stick with the Lehman Russes.
All right, so they'll be sent. They'll probably take about a month to get here as well.
That's
They'll be
fine.
here in the same time the Silver Skulls are.
That'll give us time to shift around some space for them. Okay. So we do the sneak mission, and then after that, we'll stop at football, collect the resources that were for us there, and then we'll go at decide around which places among the colonies to look at first. Probably first one's going to be Solitude, considering that we lost contact with them about a few months ago.
well,
That's Outpost 31.
sir, before we do that, we do still need to travel to Sagar Kul and join the fleet of Selene Morn. I understand that this Talon Balewing ghost dream situation hasn't been getting any better.
What was the time period for that, James?
Whenever Dawn would like to stop having nightmares about Eldar appearing to her.
Yep. That sort of-
I mean, I don't control the whims of the Lord
Yes,
Captain.
that's-
He's free to do whatever he likes.
So I'm just going to bring you up back to the Koronus Expanse map on Roll20. So to remind ourselves, all of your colonies, except for one, are in Winterscale's realm. So they're all sort of in this area of space. One of your colonies is down here, and where you're supposed to meet Selene Morn is up this way.
And which way do we come in at?
So
Right.
you're at Port Wonder here. You're at Port Wonder right there right now.
Okay, Port Wonder, and then we have to stop at Footfall.
Yeah. Now, our Station 15 is up here.
Okay. So that's
You
on
mean
the
Zone
way.
15, Station
Yeah, sorry.
13?
So yeah, Zone 15. Zone 15 is up there.
And it splits from
So
it splits this way, right? It's you go to the battleground, then you go either to the Witch Curse World.
it's actually possible to navigate directly to Zone 15 and then from Zone 15 to Footfall. it'd be a much faster route for ships to get through the Moor if it wasn't for the fact that a giant Xenos warp gate there, which is why it's a banned location and everyone goes through the other stations of passage.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess we'll do a loop around first. Do the Witch Curse World, then come back to the Battlegrounds Report Wonder. Report back, say, hey, this is what's there. If we haven't taken care of it ourselves. And then just go back to Footfall. And
perhaps we should decide on further travels when we get there, sir.
Yeah. Because if I want to take care of Station 31 just because it's lost communications. But if Station 31 is down here, we might as well just go through the ones over here then.
Yeah, Outpost 31's the one down the bottom, down this way.
Of course it is. Every time. Okay, so I'd say after Footfall, we go over to take care of somebody's call, to go look at what's so important for
Regina 4, sir. Macarius
Yeah,
Holt.
Regina 4. What's so important at Regina 4 that is so secret about? And then maybe go over to join in with the rest of the fleet. Any objections?
Not from me, sir.
Okay.
So probably Van Heppel point pipes in here. Lord Commodore, if what Holt has is so important, I mean, you could obviously order him to tell us via communications or try and find some way of communicating. Now we can communicate through. We could try and find some mechanism of at least rather than having to go all the way there, just in case what he's found, an Archaeotech hairdryer. I don't know.
Nero slams his hand down on the console and says, "Damn it, Alexandro! You have to understand the drama of these things. When a character tells you to...
He literally falls out of his chair backwards.
When a character says, hey, come take a look at this, even though it would make sense for them to just tell the other character, you have to move to the other room in order to get the camera's eye on it. It's a dramatic thing, and we should do what is dramatic."
Holtz is probably one of my most competent leaders of the colonies that I have, considering the one I had to shoot and replace. I will trust his judgment as something that cannot be said over the just regular messaging, even if it's heavily encrypted.
Very well, Lord Commodore. He sort of straightens out his shirt and sits down again.
Did we ever determine whether Alexandro fought a good fight or not?
Yeah,
yeah, they did. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he pretty much like he did what most managers do. It's like, you seem to know what you're doing. Just keep doing that. You know.
You must not know most managers.
It looks important.
I was going to say, if he was like most managers, he would have been hanging over somebody's shoulder being like, how can I make your day slower and worse? Have you filled out a report on doing that yet?
I'm going to need those macro cannon shell requisition forms in triplicate.
Nero already has them all filled out, post-dated into the future.
He just printed a whole bunch of them and just had them all pre-filled. So that way.
Yeah, of course. You never know how much I'm going to need to go through.
I'll humor Holt. If it's not important, then I'll deal with him later.
Very well.
Sir, have you gotten a chance to take a look at my request?
I think Pierre goes checks his data slate to check his emails.
All right, I'm sending you on Discord what it is.
Okay.
But don't mention it out loud, because as we just mentioned, it's part of the drama of secrecy.
I have several more rocket launchers I need to purchase.
So Talmain's Parrington chips in with Lord Commodore. Are we all? The whole flotilla is going to this station or whatever it is, this location in the Moor together?
Yes.
Okay. What about the naval assets that joined us?
Yes, they're coming too.
That's on us. Okay. Have we informed the commanders of this?
No, we're going to.
We literally just made the decision several seconds ago, Telmates.
All right.
What were you, too busy cheating at cards to pay attention?
There's nothing the Navy doesn't love other than efficiency.
I'll brief the rest of our fleet among it later, as I'll have
There's
to
like
talk
a-
to the admiral about it.
There's a dude that's like tweeting.
Tweeting the experience into the
tweeting
news sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Everyone already has their orders, you know, like
It's already bets going down on mission success rate. You know, Adrian's girlfriend, Captain Henrietta, has just joined them. She's looking to get Rookie of the Year for this season.
I love the idea that we do our forecasting based on like mission statistic odds that the bookmakers make for us. And it's like, okay, well, this mission, you know, we need to bring more people so that the odds change.
Yeah,
And then when the odds are in our favor, that's when we strike, you know, like
we propose the mission, give a list of what we're taking, and then see what Vegas gives us back.
yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So
boy.
Riani says, I've never been to this place before. The data is in the hand's navigational charts. I might need a day or so just to coordinate with the other navigators, make sure that we're all ready for the transit to this place that we've never been to, and that their charts are updated.
Very well. I believe you'll have the time. I believe we could all use just a day of rest in general. Well, rest for the most part.
Like Dawn's over there just quiet in the corner, but like she's wearing her white robes and there's a little bit of blood like peering through like the fucking white robes now. It's like
I believe a few days rest for everyone might be a good idea.
Nero frowns when everyone's talking about rest. Gives a hard stare to no one in particular. Sir, about my request?
Yes, we'll have a meeting about it after this.
Very well.
Everyone else take that as their cue to leave then.
Okay. Briefly, captains, XOs, just to inform you, each one of you will have 1 or 2 nulls in your cockpit at all times. Just so that way we can limit the ability of outside listening in on any conversations or information we have put in. I know it'll feel crappy for the first few days, but eventually you get used to it.
No, they won't, sir. It's pretty unnatural for people to get used to it.
Also for the captains and XOs and anyone else who is here, all of this information about the Zone 15 is super classified.
the guy live tweeting in the corner is just like, oh, okay.
He was just posting it on 4chan to win an argument.
Yeah, the stenographer stops typing.
No, it was the forum. It was the actual forum for World of Tanks. Okay, motherfucker. Jesus Christ, not 4chan.
Did you hear about the thing with War Thunder this week in the news? It was War
Yeah, that's
Thunder.
exactly what
Yeah.
I was talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so apparently they implemented the British Challenger tank in War Thunder, and people were talking on the forum about what they got right and what they got wrong from the design to the real tank. And a guy who was actually in the British Army posted tech specs that were classified to the forums to prove his point about what they'd gotten wrong.
Who's Dark Sephiroth X96969?
He's not getting that promotion.
Yeah,
Someone took that conversation way too seriously.
that's it. Yeah, so he's a breach of the Official Secrets Act. There you go.
Ah, man, now the Russians can make our tanks. God damn it.
They already buy Challenger MBTs. Are you kidding me? They own more Challengers than Britain does. I assure you, they have the specs.
Arthur, you're destroying my narrative, okay?
I'm
Stop
sorry about that. Just wait until you hear about how many are in the Middle East.
Yeah, but now they don't have to buy them from us.
And now Arthur publishes Challenger deployment status data to Twitch.
Just wait until you hear how many fucking Abrams tanks the U.S. has just sitting in warehouses that we're trying to sell to people.
You need to be more concerned about the number of Abrams tanks that disappear off of those warehouses. Where the fuck do they go?
You buy them at wholesale, man.
Yeah, you buy them at wholesale if you're a PMC and you love having tanks against.
The safety rating of a tank is fucking enormous. So, like, you know,
No, it's,
help out those
no,
lumberjacks.
it's not. We literally had to create an entirely new safety system for all of our tanks because they kept exploding from underneath.
It's okay, Arthur, if you don't get the reference. It's all right.
Okay,
You're not
I did
caught
get
up
the
with
reference.
the. You did?
I
Okay.
didn't. I did not.
Okay.
All right.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right. So, everyone acknowledges that they have heard secret information.
Very well.
Okay.
Do we all get a point of corruption for that, or like what's going on?
We already knew all this information.
No, I meant about the Challenger.
There is no quitting this job. You know, there's no retirement now.
There's retirement.
It's called a casket in space.
Yeah.
Remember when we tossed that demon out into space inside of like a rolled up painting?
Yeah, it's called retirement.
Yeah, we retired the shit out of him.
That's the platinum package.
He's out there, you know, being a bender, fossilizing his own unique universe on his ass. It's good. Don't worry about it.
Sir, if everyone else is leaving, might you and I discuss the plan?
Yes. Is there anyone else that you need to discuss the plan?
I was hoping to invite several people, including Brianni, who's leaving the room,
Oh,
Captain Henrietta, who's also leaving the room, and Joss, who we haven't seen for about 18 episodes.
I'd say Henrietta wasn't here yet because she's only just been assigned. Like she's still sorting a shit
Right.
to come aboard. So
And
Adrian's
Rosen.
still the acting XO.
Okay. Just invite whoever you need to and stop whoever you need to.
Understood. I immediately run out into the hallway. James, do you know what a cabadon is? It's where you wall slam. All right. So Nero runs after Brianni and catches up with her and like pins her against the wall with like one arm and like both legs and goes, Brianni, I need you. And he gets in real close and says, to join my research group. It can't be anybody but you.
What are we researching?
I can't speak about it out here.
Okay.
The captain has granted me my request, so we're going to have our own room. Come alone.
Okay. Remember, by the way, that she's like nearly 7 foot tall too. So
Yeah.
when you say your fist against the wall, it's like it's around her chest height, you know.
No, I have an actual image of Nero pinning a taller person against the wall. Hang on, I'll post it into the chat.
Not safe for work.
Casting.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
definitely
fine.
going to
It's normal.
be. Yeah, that's about right.
It's normal, he says.
No, you post it in the Cyberpunk chat.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's
Don't
all
worry,
right,
Drummer
I'll
Boy's going to be
post it.
going, what the fuck is that?
And I mean,
Oh my god.
all
Accurate though.
right, seems legit.
All right, but Nero also catches up with Adrian on the way out.
Yep.
Hey, Adrian.
Yes, Nero. What can I do for you?
As you know, I have consistently been acting as a executive type officer for the Lord Captain.
Yes.
Here is all of my paperwork, and I hand him keys to different warehouses on board the ship. Good luck.
Why are you giving me this?
Oh, you might not be the executive officer, but I looked on the rank chart, and you actually outrank me, so I slap him on the shoulder. Good luck, buddy.
Very well. Adrian immediately finds like a ensign to offload these onto.
Some warrant officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, your next like 3 months free? Great.
Well, you know what's going to happen with that warrant officer? He's going to jump it out someone else lower than him. It's an endless cycle. No one wins.
That's right. Shit roll.
It ends up
Samuel.
with that deck officer guy that we threatened to kill.
The guy sounded like he was in waste management when he was
Yeah.
actually in waste
You
management.
mean Guido?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guido. All right, yeah. So I mean, my council is Rosen, Josh, Henrietta, Cade, and Riani.
Okay.
Am I
So
also
you
here?
I mean, listen, it's your ship. You can come into that room anytime you want.
Okay.
But basically, I set aside a conference room and explained to them that like our current battle is not one that I can shoot. And I hold up a heavy bolter and put it on the table and say, I don't understand how destiny works. And until very recently, I wouldn't have thought it would be an enemy. We know that the God Emperor of Man has promised that our destiny as humans is to rule the galaxy. And this is how our enemies prevent us from doing that, is through the manipulation of these forces. You are the smartest people that I know, except for you, Joss. I'm basically just here to keep an eye on you. So, no, but seriously, you are trained by the Spider Bride, who is another individual of unique talents. So I'm hoping that you have some insight into this. I need all of you to figure out how this creature, the marionette, is seeing our moves and altering the flow of the future. Because I get the feeling I'm not going to be able to walk up to this creature and shoot it in the face unless we somehow box it in through destiny. So good luck. You're my research group whenever you have free time. It's an order. And I know, Rihanna, you don't have as much free time as everybody else, but you're also probably way more competent at this, so all of your free time belongs to this group now. Whenever you can spare a minute. And Kate, you're here to make sure nobody listens in. So whenever you're not training with me, you will be standing guard here.
You can requisition more nulls if need be. Okay,
Oh, the Lord Captain's here. He just said I can requisition more nulls. Great.
I'm just
We're gonna
here
have
enjoying the
we're gonna
show.
have a null scheduled here with a rotation every 2 hours. We're gonna get a new null. Perfect,
In fact,
everybody.
we're moving most of the nulls over here to make room for all the tanks I'm getting.
Fantastic, sir. That sounds excellent. I can directly oversee their... Well, actually, Joss, congratulations. You can directly oversee their training whenever free time you have. Thanks, Joss.
All right.
I slap her on the shoulder, too. All right, Kate, come on. We need to go get you a cape.
Okay. So you, what's the cape for? Sorry.
Nero and Cade are mixing their weapons complement and also getting new uniforms to emphasize the Darth Vader, Moff Gideon, full black outfit plus cape at the shoulder level. Yeah. We're going to come out fucking with drip, bro. We're absolutely going to be drip.
All right. I feel I need to find
This is your season 3 meme?
Yeah,
that what
this is my season 3 meme. Is I'm switching outfits again.
So here's my question. It's probably an easy one. Does Rosen read Braille?
So he can read regular text.
But what if a null's nearby? That's my
He can't. He's never learned to read Braille because he's always been taught to use his psychic senses to see.
I don't
Okay,
need him to read things. I need him to think about things.
Okay. He's probably more
What
thinking.
do you think
about
he's going to
this-
read a book on Destiny? He needs to use his magical eye future powers to figure Destiny out, man.
But you
Again,
can't do
he's
with Cade there.
But he
Yes.
can do it outside the room and then come back to report his findings where he safely can't be overheard.
okay.
Look, I know it's making it harder on Rosen, but it also makes him easier to defeat at Regicide. So look, I'm playing multiple dimensions of chess with this man.
I apologize, Rosen. He must need a very, very bad handicap when it comes to regicide.
I mean, his intelligence is not so good, huh? It's a 30.
Rosen?
No, me. Mine is,
Oh, yeah.
is 30.
Rosen's at least a 40. because of crew stats. Rose is not even in the lead of the choir, is he? He's just a random.
No, he's just a random guy
we
we tapped. And now
Okay.
he's, he's kind of like having a best friend, except someone that I order around.
And is also technically a heretic, but
What?
a sanctioned one. Well, he's a psyker.
That doesn't mean he's a heretic.
He's a sanctioned psyker. So
You gonna tell a librarian that they're a heretic?
Black Templar would, yeah.
Okay, well, you a Black Templar?
No.
That's what a dad thing sounds like, Pano. Remember that, because you're gonna need it in about 8 years.
So Riani actually asked to speak with you privately, Nero.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all
She
right.
actually invites you into the Oculus.
Great. Every experience I've had in Oculus has gone wonderfully.
How many times have you been in the Oculus?
3. I was on Charlotte Bell Armelon's bridge for 2 of them. Remember when we first came through?
Oh,
The exact
You
place we're
didn't
about to do.
You didn't actually enter the Oculus. You
Okay,
went
but
to
yeah, I
an
did like a weird
intermediary zone,
ritual at the mouth
Yeah,
of the
that's right, yeah.
Oculus. And then
Yeah,
I had to
sorry,
come back another time to talk to my boy Shrane, I think, here. Maybe that was at the choir.
No, you
anyway,
had
I
to
go
at
to
the
the
Aftermath
Oculus
choir.
with Riani, and I'm just like, so what's up?
Okay, so the Oculus itself is a relatively small chamber. The dominating feature of which is like a large command throne, which has multiple sort of connections that would obviously be like the little sort of stick-on neuro connections that you use in hospitals and such to read vitals and such. And it faces like a large, currently sealed, like an iris. And other than that, the features of the room are pretty much just hexagrammic and pentagrammic wards everywhere, like a bed and small living area, and a table which she sort of sits at and invites you to sit opposite. The whole room has like an odd feeling about it, like it's a combination of the wards and the fact that the room itself has been warp touched so many times that you sort of feel this sense of unease in general about the room. Nero, just regarding what you've asked me to think about here, I have one thing I wanted to ask you first. I know that this group has done a lot with the Inquisition in the past. Do we have any contacts in the Ordo Malleus?
Yes. Because what do we? What's her name?
Pendergast is.
Yeah, Pendergast, yeah. So I say yes, but I don't elaborate.
Is technically the Casbalica part of the Ordo Malleus?
The Casbalica are criminals.
I'm thinking of the thing that
You're talking
Pierre's
about
now
the
part of.
secret order that Super Inquisitor Lord
The
leads.
Tarantine Cabal?
yeah, Tarantine Cabal.
No, they are across all.
Yeah.
None of the ones you met there have been Ordo Malleus, but
Because they're
actually
the
been Ordo
elder-
Malleus Inquisitors.
He's an
The
Inquisitor
elder
Lord.
Inquisitors. Yeah, Inquisitor
Yeah.
Lord, yeah. The big daddies.
Everything you spoke about with fate, it all seems to be tied towards one of the greater powers of chaos, and this whole marionette sounds like some form of demon.
It is a demon.
So if we have these contacts in the Inquisition, maybe they can provide additional resources that we don't have access to.
That is possible. However, I am loath to lean on them, Riani, for the simple reason that the marionette is also a member of the Inquisition. And so any resources that we may be using, it will be aware of and or may have corrupted at some point.
So what I'm about to tell you, you can never repeat, or at least if you do, you put yourself in great danger.
Sure. You know, your predecessor said the same thing to me in like episode 2.
My household in the past has had occasion to work with the 666th Legion of the Legio Astartes, a secretive group known as the Grey Knights.
It's a cool name.
They sound pretty cool. Like maybe they're like the most pure super dudes who've ever existed. They definitely don't do anything like drink the blood of ecclesiarchal nuns or anything, right?
They don't do that. that was retcon.
Good, then they're probably really cool.
They will purge you in case you know anything that you shouldn't know, which is pretty much anything Damon related.
Yeah, pretty much everything she's about to tell me. So
Yes.
So, I know we have the Silver Skulls coming, but potentially, if my household still has contact, we could try and reach out, see whether they can help us in some way against this force.
You vouch for their integrity.
I personally never work with them, only my household. I know of their existence only because we have received sanction to have such knowledge.
On board this ship, you are your household. In fact, you're literally the only member of your household that we have regular contact with.
I mean, she's got like servants as such, but they take.
Yes, but I'm saying that she needs to make this decision, not somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
If you think that this will aid the Lord Captain, and through the Lord Captain yourself, because we will face down with this creature, then contact them. And if you think it will cause us more trouble than it is worth, then do not. I leave the decision in your hands. You have permission.
So, just out of interest, out of character, was Nero privy to the identification of the 666 numbering in the last session?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, okay, I'll think on it. I'll let you know.
Well, I mean, as long as I'm here, it's just like, is this where you hang out? Do you have any tea?
Yes.
I feel like we could turn this into like a minor social visit,
Right,
just to kind of take the edge up. It feels a little weird in here, but it kind of grows on you after a while.
She opens the iris, lets some more light in as well. Like
Okay.
you see the starfield. It's actually quite a big window. It's the only window big in this is the bridge window, basically. So.
Yeah, but we don't keep the bridge window open when we're in the warp.
That's right. Yeah. It's got a nice like look down view across the whole bow of the ship.
That's the starlight really helps with the dust in here. It really kind of freshens up the air. I feel like I could dry my laundry in here.
I think we should probably go to a break.
Okay. James, I literally promised I would stop memeing with Nero. I spent like a full half the episode doing it. Okay.
Stop memeing with Nero. No one believes you.
I had a plan. No, I am trying to make Nero more serious this time around. I mean, he's really focusing in on this Destiny thing.
Yeah, the cape will help with that.
I also believe that the cape will help with him being taken seriously.
I need to find you the section for the Cyberpunk Chromebook that talks about capes as a fashion item.
He's changing up his weapons as well, so be ready for that.
Okay.
Look, we'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Stick around. Find out.